I now have this controller here, which is actually the controller for a famicom extension port controller, which I've talked about earlier. Oh, it doesn't work very well, so I'm gonna open it up and clean it and see if we can get it to work. So I think this is interesting. It says here that it's a controller for Mark II, I think, version 89. Oh well. Let's see what's on the other side here. I've never had this controller before. I've never even seen it. It has some switches here for sound effects and has a microphone. Oh, maybe I should turn the console off. I suppose you heard that quick peep there. Well, it certainly doesn't look very nice. That's not supposed to look like that, and everything's kind of dirty and the rubber is worn down. So that explains why the control doesn't work very well. Here's a cable that's soldered, but I don't know if it's supposed to be that way, or if somebody repaired the control. There's another one. Oh, I think I pressed start there. That's weird. Maybe I should turn off the console. I hope this can be fixed. If it looks really almost damaged, then it can be difficult to fix. Like there's scratches here on the board, and I'm not too hopeful that this can be fixed, which is unfortunate because I think it's a very good controller, and Hori usually makes very good controllers, and this one in particular seems very interesting with turbo buttons and the squeak things, and I mean it's an extension controller after all, and they're not that easy to find for Famicom. So it would be unfortunate if it didn't work. I'm gonna try and clean it anyways. For cleaning I'm using this electronical cleaning. I'm sure I can use other stuff, but I know that this one doesn't remove too much of this all this important conductive material that is on the cards on the board, and so that's why I'm using this. Alright, I used a Q-tip. I cleaned it somewhat. I mean, this still looks quite bad, just worn down like that. So you want a controller that works like 100%, or at least if you have to press a bit hard, that's not a big problem. But if it looks like this, it's gonna be it's a risk. It's gonna be unreliable. That if you press it in a certain way, it's gonna work, and if you don't press it exactly that way, it's not gonna work. So that could be a problem. Now I'm not too hopeful about this. This looks pretty bad. I have a replacement rubber that should work better. You could clean these things here inside as well, but that's usually not a big issue. If you get stuck, you might need to remove the buttons and clean them. The A and B button look alright. I might have to clean the rubber on that as well, but I'm not gonna do that right now. Alright, I'm gonna put this back here and see if it works. Well, it's walking back and forth anyways. It feels a bit worn down, the rubber that I used, the replacement rubber. But I could try making small movements as well to see if he reacts. So yeah, it has this squeak thing, this control. I never had a control before with this squeaking. You can turn it off here. I'm not sure if anyone would want to play it like this, although you actually do get used to it rather quickly. Seems it only squeaks when you press it once. I wonder if there's some special reason for doing that. Start works. Turbo seems to be working. Maybe that's for turbo for the B button. It could be that if you have it that way, it's gonna make a turbo for the B button. It's gonna be hard to test. Yeah. Alright. So you can have a turbo on either B or A button, but not both, I think. And this one is the turbo for the start button, if I understand it correctly. So I'm gonna try it this way. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, we do use this left button in this game. It works. Let's see if it has a turbo as well. Oh, that's not good. What happened now? Probably have to take another look inside. I think the problem may be that this plastic thing has cut off some of these traces here on the circuit board. Might not be able to see that, but it's not an uncommon problem. It kind of depends on the controller, but particularly when they have these switch things that you move, they often do that, sort of damage the circuit board. I'm gonna do some testing with my multimeter and see if there's something I can do about this. I did what I think may be the safest solution, which is to solder some wires, because my suspicion is that the plastic moving thing here cuts the trace when it moves, and I think if I were to put some glue or something, it would just get rubbed off again. So I think the safest solution is to solder some wires here. I'm not sure if I'm not a great solderer, so I don't know if I did it perfectly, but I'm gonna try it out. So here we are again, back with Robo Warrior. It seems that this is actually the functionality that we want. It's like an auto start button, or a turbo start button, like a kind of a pause function, I think. I have some clones that have that sort of pause function. It's a pretty stupid function. I don't know, maybe I soldered it wrong. Could that be it? Well, if this is the expected functionality, now it works. So you can move really slowly, as you see. It's what do you call it? Slow. I've tried it in some other games, some of famicom that I had earlier, but I think it's like one of the most useless things ever. Here we have another extension controller for the Famicom. This one is made by Hudson, as you can see from this B here. It's definitely a playable controller. It's a bit stiffer to move, but it's, you know, it's not a problem. It has turbo buttons as well. It looks like a Famicom controller, but it's bigger. It's an ordinary Famicom controller. Being a bit stiffer, it needs more power to press down the button, but you know, you can play it. This one you can move all right, which is a very good thing. But I notice you can't actually. Doesn't seem like you can shoot, so I have to. The A and B button don't work, so I have to open it up and do the same thing with this one. All right. This one, the rubber, they look all right to me. No, let's pause right now. See if I can unpause it. Yeah. It just don't seem to be working at all. I think the problem is with this metal. The metal thing that move have a lot of black something on them, and if that is on, I think that's gonna stop the power from going through them. So I'm pretty hopeful. I think if I just clean these one up, so I think the control is gonna work excellent after that. I'm gonna do that now. So the only thing I've done now is I've used a little fine sandpaper here and just cleaned off the top of these things so they seem more shiny with these metal things. You have to be a little careful so you don't bend them too much, but if you do, you can just bend them back. It's not a huge problem. I also did some small cleaning on the contacts here, but they look really nice, and the rubber looks really nice, not worn at all. Also did some small cleaning on the board itself. So now I'm just gonna put it all back and see if it works. It worked once, but then it stopped working. So I've opened it up again, and I've bent back the pins. Maybe that's gonna make contact. And there's also a lot of oil here inside. Maybe somebody tried to use it as a lubricant of some sort. I don't know. So I'll clean that off as well, and I'm gonna try it yet again. So here we are again, and now it seems to work. Turbo works as well. I'm gonna die now because I don't have any energy, but the B button works as well. I'm gonna have a little test run now just to see that works. Well, they both work. As you can see, there's a lot of work in fixing things and testing things. So it's not just about, hey, I tested it, it worked great. If they don't work, you have to put in some effort to fix them. Then you can sell them and hopefully make somebody happy.